Hi, everyone. My name is Isabel Wright, and I'm the Career Services Specialist here at Ross Sierra Career Services. Today, we are going to be talking about interview tips for school counseling students. So the placement interview process can be a tricky one, but it's okay to be honest and authentic about your lack of experience if you don't have a lot in school counseling. You want to tie it in with a spirit of growing and learning and how you'll actively seek out information you need in order to succeed. Remember that part of the decision of who to hire isn't necessarily about your training or experience, but is about your personality and overall how you present yourself. Especially in some elementary schools, faculties consider themselves close-knit families and fit is prioritized. So be yourself. This should also go without saying to please arrive on time, whether it's Zoom or in person. Always be respectful of any front office person or individual that you engage with and dress professionally. It doesn't have to be a suit, but it also shouldn't be jeans and flip-flops. Also, I recommend writing a thank you note or an email after your interview. So internship placement interview placement tips include researching the school site and the district prior to your interview. Throw out a few facts about your research during your interview to impress your interviewer. And like I mentioned, dress professionally. Whether it's in person or via Zoom, business casual is always the best option to go. I always recommend taking an extra copy of your resume with you or dropping it in the chat via Zoom can also be a huge plus. If your interview is via Zoom, ensure that you have a working camera and microphone, as well as be in a quiet space. It is also important to have an appropriate background as well, and to confirm both the date and the time, regardless if it's in person or via Zoom. As you prepare for your interview, be prepared to talk about why you are interested in this school or placement site. And be ready to answer questions such as, why do you want this position? Or why should we hire you for this site? Be professional. While this is a placement for your degree completion, it is your responsibility to act professionally and be respectful to everyone you meet at any given point in the interview process. Also, be prepared to talk about any volunteer work or any counseling related experiences you might have. Make sure to check out the district's website and be ready to talk about any new initiatives you might see or about things that they value. Earlier this year, Ryan, who is the Career Services Manager here at Ross Sierra Career Services, and I talked to an LAUSD recruiter, Tamisha Donald, to help understand this interview process. And in that conversation, she recommended a few tips. The first one is to understand the student information system that school districts use. So LAUSD specifically uses the My Integrated Student Information System. You don't necessarily have to have access to this, but having a passing knowledge of this, as well as the A through G requirements for CSU and UC systems, will be very beneficial. Also, understanding the school district's high school graduation requirements are important as well. And learning or demonstrating an understanding of the pathways that students can go if they choose not to go to college at the moment is also important. What are their different options as school counselors can offer? What are the community college options for students? And who want to do a growth year and move into the workforce before perhaps going to a four-year institution. Also, having a basic understanding about these trade schools will be incredibly important and helpful as well. So additional interview tips from Tamisha include being a socio-emotional resource and demonstrating this knowledge. Like I mentioned, you don't have to have a lot of school counseling experience in order to be placed, But if you can research and know various resources within the community that you're applying for, that would be very beneficial. So for example, LAUSD is very vast. Between the valleys and the beaches to the north, understanding the uniqueness and the needs of each community will be helpful. You want to demonstrate a sense of understanding of the resources available for specific communities and their needs in the school districts that you apply to. So you don't have to know all the resources of every single community out there, because that can be daunting and overwhelming. But there should be an expectation of at least being familiar with the ones that you are applying to, and what resources and sense of understanding you can demonstrate within your own community that you can offer. So job assistance for students so that they could be employed while in school, or tutoring resources. How did you learn about those resources, and how would you inform your findings to the school site? You want to do your homework on the schools that you're applying to. And, for example, being aware of if you're applying or if you're interviewing for a placement at a school for deaf children, and being aware of the audience and that student population. You also want to demonstrate your understanding of an urban district and any local community resources. Sample interview questions, I won't go through all this, you can read it, but you really want to showcase and focus on challenges that you've overcome. What were the results? What were the actions that you've taken? Tell me about a time that you needed to give feedback to someone, or how you creatively solved a problem, or possibly how you were able to handle a difficult caseload, or what interventions you took to de-escalate someone. These are things that you can practice before the interview, so that you come up with bullet points for a story that best demonstrate and convey your skills, your experience, your character as a school counselor. Other types of questions that might come up in an interview might come in the form of hypothetical scenarios. So what would you do if a student wants to switch classes, or if a parent called angry about a teacher? What would you do if a child came or was having a meltdown in a classroom, or if a student told you they were pregnant? What is your reaction, or your response, I should say, for these hypothetical scenarios? Because these demonstrate your understanding of the situation, of the student population, and how you would take these actions. Placement interviewing also includes you interviewing the site, the interviewer, and it also shows interest and engagement in the position if you were to also ask questions. Some questions that you might want to ask include: what is the dress code? Expectations for interns, tattoos, piercings. What day and hours will you be expected to complete your practicum placement? Who will be your immediate supervisor assigning tasks, and will this person approve your hours? Are there other opportunities for consultation or networking with professionals or other agencies in this internship practicum? And what experiences and characteristics does this agency or do the recruiters look for in candidates? Best practices: be authentic. As I mentioned in the beginning of this workshop, fit is really important in thinking about these schools. Oftentimes these organizations, these schools, these districts consider themselves family. So fit is important. And with fit, you want to be genuine and authentic and sell yourself. Don't be afraid of your lack of experience if you don't have a lot of experience in this area. The important thing is to utilize your resources, draw from experiences and academic projects and classroom settings that you have been a part of, volunteer experiences that you've been a part of, that showcase your willingness to learn, your experience in school counseling so far, and where you want to go, what your ambitions are, and what you can bring to the table. Be concise, and of course, show enthusiasm. Common mistakes in placement interviews are a lack of professionalism, feeling like you're entitled and that since this is a requirement, you already have a placement, lack of preparation, so not researching the district or the school ahead of time, the resources available to the community, lack of content, and just overall negativity. I also want to showcase Big Interview, which is an AI tool. It's a powerful tool that gives you 24 access to interactive interview practice opportunities. It gives you feedback. You're also welcome to record an interview, a mock interview practice, and then send it to professors, to myself, to others to review for feedback as well. And I just want to end on career support for all Rossier students, including MSC folks. Your faculty and your staff are a resource for you. This is a collective effort to help you and to support you throughout your journey here at Rossier. Of course, the Career Center, our office, we have one-on-one career advising appointments. We do mock interviews, resume, cover letter tips, networking advice. You have the main career center that offers the same resources. You have access to USC alumni, whether it's on LinkedIn or the Rossier Career Network, and you can connect and set up informational interviews with other school counseling alums who were once in your shoes. You also have access to Rossier events and programs that we hold both you can see that on our website as well as on Handshake, and the main USC events and programs available to you as well. With that, please reach out to Ryan or myself for any questions that you might have. Scan the QR code. We are here to help. We are a part of your journey as much as you allow us to, and we want to see you succeed. With that, thank you so much, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. Bye.